Hi, this is Zach with Worn & Wound. Today I'll be taking a look at the Lum-Tec V6. This is one of their newest offerings in their V series of watches, which, if you know the brand, is kind of distinct from the rest of their watches in that it has a unique case design that's very geometric. And in this new watch, they went for a two-tone case, which is a very interesting, probably one of the more standout features. It has black PVD and rose gold PVD. The watch features a sapphire crystal, a Miyota 9015 automatic movement, and it retails for $895. So let's take a closer look. The V6 has a stainless steel case with this kind of very interesting two-tone PVD finish. The design of it, is this very kind of bold, geometric, faceted design that I think, kind of refers to certain luxury watch brands such as Hublot, but by being, an $895 watch is fairly unique to have a design like this. It's also a fairly large case, so it measures 44 millimeters from side to before the crown guard, which is what they list on the website, but from side to the end of the crown guard is actually 47 millimeters. It's 51 millimeters from lug to lug, 22 millimeter lug width, but then it's actually about 13.5 millimeters tall, which, I think that a little bit of thinness actually helps to balance out the otherwise kind of massiveness of the case. So now, looking at it, like I said, it's this two-tone PVD, so black PVD and rose gold PVD, which is unto itself kind of a nice and interesting combination, not one that we've really handled before. But then on top of the different PVDs, there's actually a lot of different finishes. So the very top surface here has a brush. This side of this kind of bezel area is polished, as is kind of this little ring around the sapphire crystal here. The top surface then of the rose gold portion of the case is brushed, but then the crown guard is polished again. And then actually flipping it over, there's more finishing on the back. So it's the majority of it is brushed, but then once again on the very sides here it's polished. So they just paid a lot of attention to detail, which I think works really well to emphasize certain geometries that are part of this design, and just kind of really up the visual quality of the watch. I mean, it's a very attractive case, simply put. At 3 o'clock here, you have this 7.5 millimeter crown. It's a screw-down crown, nice and graspable, and that's in a black PVD as well. I like that they match that with this bezel area. Just kind of keeps the theme going. Flipping the watch over now, you can see the display case back. The edge of this case back is stainless steel, once again with a polished and a brushed finish. There's various details around. And then inside you can see the Miyota 9015 automatic movement. These are, movement we like a lot. It's kind of, slowly replacing kind of the ETA 2824-2 movements in this price range. It features a little bit of Côte de Genève on this plate here under the rotor. It's a nice enough movement to look at, but it's a quality movement, so it's great to have it in the watch here. Overall, I just think that this is a really unique design. It's definitely kind of the main selling point to me of the watch is both the two-tone and just the interesting geometry that they have here. The dial of the V6 has a kind of very simple design that's very bold to match the case. You can see it's kind of, only has one real index here, maybe this kind of trapezoidal shapes, and then a very large 12 and 6. I mean, those are clearly the focal point of the dial. One thing I like, a detail that they did here was, there's this kind of loomed portion, and that's sitting on little rose gold kind of applied layer. So you get that kind of glimmer, and obviously it relates back to the case color here. Around the window at 4.5, they also put a little rose gold circle. One thing, the date is white on black. It doesn't, it looks like something that's a little bit overshadowed by the window area, but I think that might just be an illusion from light hitting the edge of the window. Then around the kind of inside bezel here, the kind of chapter ring, there's 60, 10, 20, there's a kind of minute markers. This area I'm not 100% sure I feel about. I think they try to kind of up the legibility of the watch. And it's interesting to use the kind of depth of the dial to have this extra indices, but I feel like it's not quite as finessed as the rest of the dial. And although it has this kind of pea green kind of shade that looks like it's loomed, it actually doesn't have any loom, which I just found kind of surprising given that this is Lum-Tec and they put so much emphasis on their glowing capabilities. The hands of the watch are rose gold, also with kind of large lumed filling. I like the kind of truncated Roman sword hand shape they have here. Once again, works with the kind of very geometric design of the watch. And then just, the lume of the watch, they have this proprietary MDV technology, they call it, that, just the Lum-Tec watches always glow very brightly. So here, just all these main indices and the large 12 and 6 glow, as well as the hands. The words on the dial do not glow. And yeah, it glows quite brightly, as you would expect from a Lum-Tec. The V6, despite being a fairly large watch, I think actually fits very nicely on a, medium-sized 7-inch wrist here. It has like a nice contour to it going across, so it kind of form-fits to your wrist nicely. And then the size, it just kind of fits well because the kind of octagonal design kind of keeps it from kind of jutting out too much anyway, and the lug-to-lug isn't too long as to stick out over the side of the wrist. And once again, it's only 13.5 millimeters thick, so it doesn't stand off too much. It kind of hugs the wrist nicely. In terms of the look, it's very striking, very bold, kind of sporty and aggressive. I think the design of the dial has a sort of almost kind of futuristic look to it. So it's definitely very different than kind of the more standard kind of military referring watches that we normally see. It's 22 millimeter lugs, as I mentioned before, and it comes with 2 straps. So this strap is a this leather kind of aviator strap with these screws going directly through them. It's an interesting strap. I kind of like the shape of it, how it's 22 millimeters here, and then it comes down to a narrower size. It's black with this kind of orange stitching that matches the rose gold, and obviously the screws on either side of it are also rose gold. The strap actually comes mounted on this rose gold kind of simple thumbnail buckle, and they send it with this more kind of elaborate deployment clasp, which I think is actually a really nice design. I like how they applied their logo here, and they have these little hex bolts kind of like etched into it, which refer back to the case here. I think it kind of suits the watch a little bit better than just a simple thumbnail, but it's nice to have both just so you have that option. And the watch also comes with a rubber strap, and we'll show you what that looks like now. Now I just wanted to show it to you on this Lum-Tec rubber strap. One thing that I really like that the rubber strap does for the watch is add yet another finish, basically. So you have the gloss black, the rose gold, and then this matte rubber. And I think that actually looks really nice and kind of ups the kind of aggressive sportiness of the watch. This is a Lum-Tec, kind of their standard rubber strap with this rose gold pre-V buckle here. Their rubber straps are very comfortable, they're very nice. If you know the Combat B16, if you've seen the rubber strap that comes with that, they actually designed it to fit perfectly into the case there, and I wish that they would come out with a more form-fitting rubber strap for this as well, because I feel like if it just plugged in there nicely and kind of followed that bezel, it would really complete the look. But regardless, as an extra option, I think it's really nice, and the watch actually has a 100-meter water resistance, so if you're inclined to wear this in the water, you're probably going to want to put it on the rubber strap rather than the leather. So in conclusion, the Lum-Tec V6 is a very interesting offering from the brand. I think what they did with the kind of two-tone case design here, the double PVD, is quite retractive, and it's very different and kind of distinguishes the watch from other watches in the market, as well as other watches really in their own line. $895, it's a little bit on the pricey side, but it does have a sapphire crystal, a Miyota 9015 automatic movement, overall great build quality, and a very high level of finish. The look of the watch, has this very kind of aggressive and interesting geometric look with a very kind of modern, almost futuristic dial. I think it definitely would stand out in your collection. So if you're into this and you're a fan of Lum-Tec, as we are, this might be a very appealing watch to you. Once again, this is Zach. Please make sure to check out the full review on WarnerWound.com. Follow us on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter. Thank you. Bye.